Hi, I'm Nick Compass, Director of Instruction at Santa Ana Country Club. What I want to talk to you today about is our backswing, kind of how our lower body, how we want it to work. Most of us have heard that, hey, we need to turn, but the word I want to use today is load. I want to make sure I get loaded up. And so what tends to happen, or one of the things we do is when we look on a video of somebody, if we drew a line on kind of my bottom here, when I would swing back, I would like my right cheek, my right hip here to kind of almost stay on that line or almost bump into that line a little bit, okay? I'm gonna put a picture up here. You can see this player here, how he's kept his bottom against the line. I'm gonna put a picture up also of somebody who's come off that line. And again, it kind of comes back to balance. So now, as I get going back, if I come off that line, well, now I'm gonna be more on my toes. I'm gonna be crowding that golf ball. That can lead to some thin shots, some heel shots. None of those really we want, obviously. So here's a drill to help you feel kind of how we would get loaded. Again, when I put people on the video, what I will do is I'll draw a line on their bottom here. So when they're set up and they've got this line here, as they go back, they're gonna stay against that line or almost feel like they're pushing that right cheek onto that line. So here's a drill that can help us with that. So I've got my golf bag here. I'm gonna take my driver, any club with a head cover would do, but I'm gonna put it right on the edge right here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get set up here, and I'm gonna do this without a ball here first, just to practice. And I'm gonna get set up so my right cheek is barely touching it, or maybe about a quarter of an inch away. And what I'm gonna do is when I swing back, I've gotta feel this right hip, this right side here, go back and load up, and it's gonna bump into that a little bit. I feel a little bit of weight on my heel, and I kind of feel myself pushed against here a little bit to make sure I got good balance and I'm loaded. When I get here, hey, that's gonna make it a lot easier for me to swing down to the golf ball. Again, if I got set here, and in my backswing, I came off that line, you can see how I'm out on my toes. It's very hard for me to make any turn from here, and now I'm gonna crowd that space, kind of invade that space, and again, lead to probably a thin shot or a heel shot. So again, here's a great way to practice this. You can also practice this at home by taking a chair, but I like this with the golf bag because it's something we can do at the golf course. So again, I'm gonna get set, right cheek kind of just barely touching it, or maybe about a quarter of an inch away. And when I make my backswing, I wanna feel like I get pushing against that a little bit. This turns and then stays touching on that head cover right there. If you do that, you'll have a much better backswing. We'll get loaded up better. We'll have a lot more space to come down, and we're gonna hit more solid shots.